Hi, I'm Barrister Esther, your trusted travel legal voice insider at Travul.org, and I'm here as usual to give you legal tips to make you travel far, travel safe, and travel smart. So let's begin with today's legal tip. We want to talk about application mistakes, where you make mistakes unintentionally on your visa applications. That's what we want to talk about today. Now, there are instances where you make mistakes on your applications unintentionally. You don't want to make mistakes on your applications intentionally, so we're talking about the unintentional ones now. Now, the consequences for that depends on the country and the nature of the mistake. So there are mistakes that are simple, maybe simple typos and all of that, but there are some that are not fixable. Those simple typos are fixable, but the other mistake has to do with material inaccuracies, material details, like your passport number is wrong, or you're hoarding information when it comes to previous immigration violations. Those kind of mistakes, and they can be unintentional. That's why I said we're talking about the unintentional ones now, not the intentional ones. Now, what are the steps to take when it comes to making mistakes on your visa applications unintentionally? One, identify the kind of mistake or the nature of the mistake. I mentioned earlier, there are simple typos and there are material inaccuracies, material errors. Now, the material errors are not fixable. They are not fixable in the sense that they are not something that can be overlooked by the authorities. Okay? Now, after identifying the nature of the mistake, another thing you can do, or another step you can take, is determine if the form can be edited or corrected. Now, in some countries, especially China, you can be given a new form where you correct your mistakes. But in some other countries where you can't be given a new form, you would have to have a new application. And when it comes to new applications, you are going to pay another sum of money. So you don't want to make mistakes. That is another step you can take. Another one is contact the authorities, the right authorities. Now, for instance, in the United States, when you have the DS-160 form, what can be done is, before the interview, and you discover that I've made some mistakes unintentionally, you can contact the right authorities, and an update can be done before your interview day. Okay, so something can be done about it and you won't be penalized. Another one is you can submit a cover letter. Now, in some countries like the United Kingdom, you can have a well-detailed, brief cover letter attached to your application to indicate the mistakes that you've made on your application for your visa. So after submitting the cover letter, another thing you can do is inform the authorities again. This one is during interview. The one I mentioned earlier was before your interview day. Now, this is during the interview or right before your interview. So when you notice that you've made mistakes unintentionally right before the interview or during the interview period, just inform your consular officer and let them know that this is what is going on, so that you will not be penalized. And with that, it won't be seen that you were making an attempt to deceive the authorities. Now, it's important to note that there are consequences for making mistakes. One is you would have approval delay or a rescheduling of your interview. So which means that they have to investigate these mistakes, and this will cause delay or they reschedule your interview day. Another one is you can be banned. You can be banned from reapplying for visa to some countries, especially the United Kingdom. For the United Kingdom, it's 10 years ban. This is not from re-entering, this is from reapplying for visa. So it's important to note that you don't make mistakes. Always double check, cross check. You can give somebody else to proofread for you to check if there are mistakes. Please note that. And of course, you can seek legal guidance from Travul.org. You can follow for more updates at Travelism. I am Barrister Esther.